Friday Reflections with Brody, when every answer is let's drink. This reflection came after listening to an interview with Hunter Biden while I was at work early Friday morning. He spoke openly about addiction, alcohol, and later crack addiction. And honestly, the way he explained it stayed in my mind the entire day. One example he gave really caught my attention. He compared addiction to compulsive phone use. At first I laughed because honestly, some of us panic more when we lose our phones than when we lose peace of mind. But the more he explained it, the deeper it became. He said addiction works because certain things repeatedly stimulate the brain's reward system until habits become cravings, and cravings slowly begin to overpower self-control. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, or constantly checking notifications every 2 minutes like the FBI personally texted you, the brain slowly adapts until temporary pleasure starts controlling long-term decisions. That conversation hit me personally. For years, I suffered from depression without even realizing it. The dangerous part is that I covered it so well with alcohol that I convinced myself it was just social drinking. But looking back honestly, it was not. I was stressed most of the time, sad sometimes, empty at other times. And whenever life became too loud, the easiest thing to reach for was a bottle. Funny enough, I never considered myself a drunkard. I still functioned, I still laughed, I still handled responsibilities. That's why this reflection matters to me. Because many people think addiction only begins when someone is lying in the street singing to invisible chickens. Sometimes it starts quietly, respectably, socially, neatly dressed. One thing human beings know how to do very well is create solutions that slowly become new problems. If something good happens, people drink to celebrate. If something bad happens, people drink to forget. If nothing happens, people drink so that something may happen. And the funniest one, we really need to discuss this serious problem. Can we meet for a drink? That statement sounds like comedy, but there's pain hiding inside it. Some people drink after heartbreak. Some drink after getting married. Some drink because life is hard. Others drink because life is too boring. At this point, alcohol attends more family meetings than some relatives. Hunter Biden also mentioned something that shocked me. He said alcohol is probably the worst drug in the world. Of course, after hearing that, I immediately looked it up because nowadays, even motivational speakers can sound convincing after 2 energy drinks and confidence. But surprisingly, many experts do rank alcohol among the most damaging substances because of how socially accepted it is, while quietly destroying health, families, peace, and self-control. The problem is not always the drink itself. The real danger starts when something meant for enjoyment slowly becomes your emotional support system. When stress automatically says, drink. When boredom says, drink. When celebration says, drink. When loneliness says, drink. That's when a person must pause and ask, am I enjoying this? Or is this thing now enjoying me? I can honestly say something changed during my recent visit to Zambia. For the first time in a long time, I actually experienced what I would call a real social drink. Nothing heavy. No emotional escape, no trying to bury stress. Just enjoying a moment with people. And strangely enough, that peaceful balance taught me more than many lectures ever could. Maybe that's why this reflection stayed on my mind the whole day at work. Normally, it takes me about 5 to 8 hours to put together my Friday reflections because I keep arranging thoughts, humor, lessons, and life experiences like a confused DJ trying to organize a wedding playlist. But despite the busy schedule, I felt this reflection needed to be shared because it reminded me so much of how Fridays can look back home. And I know some people were waiting for this reflection because I promised it would come in the late afternoon. Well, here it is. Hopefully, even though it's almost night back in Zambia, somebody may still learn 1 or 2 things from it. In Bemba we say, Tabunwa mwipi. Literally,
beer is not drunk by a short person.
Our elders meant that not everybody has the discipline to handle certain things.
Some things expose weaknesses instead of hiding them. Alcohol can loosen tongues, uncover hidden pain, damage relationships, and make people act below their values. I've seen it. And if I'm honest, I've lived parts of it too. And the scary thing about life is that habits never arrive looking dangerous. Most bad habits arrive smiling like visitors, then slowly become landlords. The Bible warns us about self-control because anything that controls your mind for too long eventually starts controlling your life. A person without self-control becomes vulnerable to many other problems. Another Bemba proverb says,
Umunwe umotau salanda.
"One finger cannot pick up a louse." Translation: you cannot solve life alone, and definitely not with a bottle as your assistant. Healing needs honesty. Healing needs community. Healing sometimes needs prayer, therapy, rest, accountability, and difficult conversations. And let's be honest, alcohol has exposed many secrets fasting and prayer never managed to reveal. Entire family meetings have collapsed because one uncle suddenly announces, "Today, I will speak the truth." But beneath the humor is a serious lesson. Don't let temporary comfort create permanent problems.
Joy does not need alcohol to become real. Pain does not need alcohol to be numbed. And boredom does not need alcohol to become entertainment. Real strength is learning how to face life fully awake, to celebrate with wisdom, to suffer with dignity, and to heal without destroying yourself in the process. Because sometimes the bottle is not the problem. Sometimes the problem is the pain we refuse to face without it. And maybe the real question is no longer, can we meet for a drink and discuss this? Maybe the real question is, can we finally be honest about what we are running from?